Okay, so I wanted one quick thought about 3D printing, just so you guys are aware if you want to play with stuff. What makes objects hard or easy to print is not necessarily a function of how complicated they are. You guys know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this is an evolving dragon curve, which is a fractal thing. So on the bottom here, you can see an approximation of the dragon curve. And sort of at a level, you can see the slices that would make the evolution of the dragon curve. This is a really, like, it's got lots of windows, right? It's kind of bent and crazy freaking looking. This is a pretty easy print. This little frog, which was made with this scanner, is also a really ridiculously easy print. Like, this is ridiculously easy. That's like medium-ish. The only thing that makes this hard is the windows. Do you guys know how that thing works at all?
Layer by layer.
Yeah, so it lays down so there's a carriage, right, that has plastic in it, and it lays a layer of plastic down, and then the base moves away a layer, and then it lays a layer of plastic down. On some of them, the carriage moves up, and on others, the base moves down. It doesn't actually matter. It makes a layer, and then it puts the next layer on top. You guys with me on that? So something that's hard to print, or harder to print, is something like this sheep.
Oh, God.
Why is the sheep harder to print than those things?
Those legs.
Yeah, because it's building up each of these legs, right? So it does a little circle for one leg, then it shoots over and does a little circle for the other leg, and then it goes over and shoots and does a little circle, and it goes over and does a little circle, right? And as it goes up, they get bigger, right? You guys see how overhanging this is? So the printer can do okay if the overhang isn't beyond 45 or so degrees. If the overhang gets too steep, it's just pouring plastic that rolls off the edge. You guys see that? So you have to keep the angles down a little bit. You can put some support in there. And some programs add support automatically. They just, like, you specify an angle, and it'll build up little towers of support. So if you look at the bottom of this, you can see that the sheep has little cross-hatching on the bottom. And that's from the support that I pulled off. And so what the sheep looked like as it was being built was little circle for a leg, 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 and then like just some stuff, right? Like, it doesn't need to be fancy. It needs to be easy to print, so it's just one continuous line, right? And that's easy for the printer to do, right? It just reads, go up a while, go left a while, go down a while, go left a while, go up a while, and, you know, whatever, no problem. And then at each layer, it makes the support a little higher. You guys all see that? If it didn't have the support in it, these would be hard, right? Because they would get more overhanging as it went on. And then at some point, it would have to go from here over to there. And when it does that, right, it's just melty plastic. So there's a thing called bridging, which is the only thing that's hard about this model is the windows. Because on the windows, there's no support in here. There never was. On the windows, it actually just bridges that gap with hot plastic. And it turns on a little fan to cool the plastic as it pulls it. I highly encourage you to try to draw something with the 3D pen. There's a 3D pen in there, by the way. Try the 3D pen out. See if you can get a handle for bridging. It's pretty funny. If you can get good bridges going without putting your finger underneath it to hold it up and putting hot plastic on your finger, which is fine, but hurts. Kudos, like, awesome, seriously. Cool. So does that give you guys a little flavor for like what makes certain things hard? Like things with lots of overhang or like little blobs that appear in midair. Like the sheep's nose is one of the little blobs that appears in midair. You guys see that? It actually hooks down a little bit to get to the bottom of the chin. If it did that without support, right, it would just be like squirting plastic into the air. So actually you'll see sometimes, like if you download a thing from Thingiverse and it's not hitting the build plate, The computer doesn't care, it just makes instructions. And if you don't have support on, sometimes the instructions will just read, go up a little bit and then start putting plastic down. And so it'll dutifully do that. It'll go up a little bit and start putting plastic down. Cool? Does that help a little bit on what's hard and what's easy? So things with lots of these, like lots of little legs, are super tough, but support's pretty chill as long as it's not right on the border of needing support or not, and as long as you can get the support out. So try not to make something that it has to fill with support with only like little tiny windows into there, because you can't get the support out, right? You have to like chip it apart and then pull each piece out with like tweezers or something like that. Cool?